This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I have to say, before I ever begin, freaking called it. Now, for those of you who know that I make the occasional appearance on the Escape Podcast, you know that the last time I was on, we talked specifically about the Raddus. Now, I said, no, we're not. Because if we get Leia, then we don't have any use for Admiral Holdo. She is an Admiral, Leia is a General. Now, as much as Leia will be awesome when she's added to the game, it just makes sense. Because who else is going to blow up the Raddus but Admiral Holdo? Now, what's awesome about this, now I like her kit. I've got to say, my boys Nev and Paul and I, as we were sitting there talking about this, oh my gosh, we called freaking everything, guys. From the Holdo maneuver, where she blows up the capital ship and removes all stuff, to the fact that it wouldn't be really an attacking style ship, because when we are introduced to the Raddus, not Admiral Raddus from Rogue One, but Raddus the ship, right? It's escaping, it's fleeing, it's not attacking. So what do? They are like flat out running for their lives, supporting other ships. Now that is exactly what this is, and that is exactly what I freaking called. I love it. I'm stoked to be right, but then I'm also stoked for this. Now, I love The Last Jedi. The story, as it is told in the book, I think there's things about it, but whatever. The kit actually looks pretty tight. You've got its basic ability, grants turn meter, calls other characters to assist, and exposes the target enemy for 2 turns. The Resistance loves to expose itself. It loves exposure, and it loves the idea of exposing things, and I probably couldn't agree more in the fact that the giant cylindrical ship is part of an exposure focus. One thing that I am excited about this is it is a ship that sounds like it's going to be very, very beneficial for the Resistance, but there's also stuff in this post that make me believe that more is coming, and the content, as they speak of, is not yet fully realized. Now, special ability, gains tenacity up, deflector shields, which is really cool, especially since if you jump down here, part of its unique ability is it gives reflector shields to characters, and I love that. Now, start of the turn, it gets 25% protection, 50 for Resistance allies, and they gain foresight for 2 turns. Now that can't be copied. It sounds like that's something that we will see copyable, meaning like there's something that's going to copy abilities in the future. Now I think we shall see that coming quite possibly in the next installment of ships, or maybe just in a future ship. Now, additionally, we've got the second special, Outlast. Dispel all buffs on all allies. All allies gain protection up. 50% recover. They recover 50% protection and gain 20% turn meter. Again, this is going to help them, that survivability, because when Holdo's maneuver is launched, I love this, guys. I think this is hilarious. And in keeping with, the canon that it is now, it makes sense to add it. I love the graphics for this. You got like the debris coming out after she rams her ship into the other ship. I think that it's hilarious. I've always thought that she did it on accident. They want us to believe that it's this grand, unique, statement, but I honestly believe that she did it on accident. It dispels all debuffs on all allies. They gain 100% turn meter, which will simply mean turning the tide in those final rounds, those later rounds of the battle. Inflicts healing immunity and buff immunity on all enemies. I mean, this is going to neuter the the defense that lasts. Sacrifice the Raddus to destroy enemy capital ships, then call any random reinforcement if able to. So if you've got that one last ship in the back just waiting, this is going to be interesting. Now, here's what's fascinating to me, though, is this says final text. If no enemy capital ship is present at the start of battle, this ability can't be used. So that's interesting, because what ship fleet isn't around at the start of a battle? Now, this makes me think one of two things, that this is the first text that is hinting at the ship raid that we all know is coming eventually, soon, TM. Because if that were the case, if we see a ship raid, it's likely that a capital ship won't be used at the start of the battle, right? If it's the raid on the Death Star, then it would make sense that the Death Star would show up in the latter half of the raid. If it's a raid on Starkiller Base, same concept. If it's a raid on something as awesome as Scarif, then again, you wouldn't necessarily see a capital ship at the beginning of the battle. You see it probably introduced later on. So that is absolutely fascinating. Because of this text, it makes me think that there's some specific use for this. Now, stay the course. The unique is Resistance Allies deals 40% more damage and 75% max protection at the start of the battle. Resistance Allies gain Deflector Shield and critical hit immunity for 2 turns. Whenever Resistance Ally uses Foresight, they gain evasion up and protection up, which really cool. Now, Resistance doesn't have a lot of ships. Like, we only have 3 ships. Clearly, we have Rey's, we have the Resistance X-Wing, and then we have Poe's X-Wing. I do think that we'll be getting additional Poe's X-Wing, whatever X-Wing he was flying at the end of Episode 9. I think that's going to be coming here soon. If you look at this image, you see as, first off, you have Poe, Ebonhawk, you have Lando, Ahsoka, and essentially when it goes through as the inspiration, it talks about strategy and fleet suggestions. You're obviously going to be starting with your Resistance. Then you have Ahsoka, who's a hitter, who's pretty solid. You have the Ebonhawk, who has that mass dispel. You have Lando as a strong finisher because it reinforces the ability to allows it to take a bonus turn for each reinforcement previously called. So if he's the last one in your stable of ships, then boom, he comes in and he's taking those bonus turns. Now, what's interesting here is each of these characters, each of these ships that they're adding or they're discussing has a unique function. And what I'm thinking is they're clearly going to be adding ships for Resistance, for other areas of the game, or from other areas of the game, from other factions that fill these needs. So what do we see? We need an attacker. We need a solid attacker. Now, like I said, I think Resistance hero Poe is going to get a new ship. I think that's going to be awesome. I think we'll see a number of other ships from Inferno Squad. Very possible that we could see that. It's been speculated that we're going to see Inferno Squad, members of the Inferno Squad, in The Mandalorian, and typically they do add characters from shows like that. I'm still fully and firmly believing that we are going to be getting these ships from Star Wars Resistance, even though I know a lot of people don't necessarily care for it. It would make sense to throw them out there, maybe just as marquee events, but it would, again, make sense. Now, what does this mean for the First Order? We don't necessarily know yet, but they're going to give us this. I would expect the finalizer to come sometime by the end of the month, if not sometimes in early March. Now, so far, we haven't really seen the month of Darkside, which February typically is. So I think they may be trying to throw us off, and maybe the month of Darkside comes in March. Now, additionally, what was revealed earlier today is how the Raddus is going to be received, or how we're going to be able to unlock the character. I am very much looking forward to seeing what we see here. Now, they do say, and they have said, that they're focusing on bringing us content. Now, content does sound like more characters. Now, that is a form of content, yes, But I don't think that this is all that we're seeing. As I mentioned earlier, I do think that we're seeing the initial hints and or teases for a ship raid, and that is here. But what do you guys think? Like I said, if you are interested in reading more about the new canon or even the old canon about the ships, about the First Order, the Resistance, whatever, check out Alphabet Squadron, check out Battlefront 2 Inferno Squadron. I mean, there's a lot of really cool books. There's a lot of really cool stories out there right now. There's a lot of awesome ones from the old canon as well. So please, if you're interested, do yourself a favor, check the links in the section below, and sign up for a free 1-month trial of Audible. I love audiobooks, guys. They're wonderful. The Star Wars audiobooks are amazing, and they're just hands down some of the best things in existence. They're entertaining, they're engaging. I love them, and you can get 2 of them for free if you sign up in the link below. Cancel within a month, you still help the channel. I get a small kickback, and you get 2 free audiobooks that are yours to keep. Now, if you are interested, you're like, hey, you know what? I need some awesome nerd apparel. I've got you covered there too. Introducing, guys, brand new, a shirt, my first t-shirt that I'm really focusing on. I love it. It's on sale right now. It is What Would Hondo Do? Check it out in the link below. I've got mine ordered now, and it should be coming here any day, and I'm very excited for it. But check out the links below and let me know what you think of these ships. I'm stoked to see this. I'm stoked to see this new, not only ship, but like this new focus on ships. I've got to spend a lot more time getting my mind right and getting my mind wrapped around ships. But leave a comment in the section below, like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think. And as always, my friends, this has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. And as always, smile and stay nerdy.